It is Friday, July 31st, 2026. The Federal Reserve holds interest rates steady in a divided vote. Washington sanctions a global network supporting Iran's Mahan Air and the IRGC. The Senate rejects a resolution to end unauthorized military action against Iran. Here are the day's top stories. The Federal Reserve's Open Market Committee voted 9-3 on July 29th to hold the federal funds rate at a target range of 3.5% to 3.75%. 3 regional bank presidents dissented, according to the Federal Reserve's official statement. The committee said economic activity is expanding at a solid pace despite elevated uncertainty tied in part to the conflict in the Middle East. The decision follows months of debate over how quickly to ease policy as job gains have kept pace with the workforce and unemployment has changed little, the Fed noted. Productivity growth and capital investment remain strong, per the central bank's assessment. The dissenters were Cleveland's Beth Hammack, Minneapolis's Neil Kashkari, and Dallas's Lori Logan, all regional bank presidents, according to the Fed's statement. The committee reiterated it will continue reducing its holdings of Treasury securities and agency debt as previously announced, and said it will continue monitoring incoming data before its next scheduled meeting. Why it matters. The split vote signals real disagreement inside the Fed over how much the Middle East conflict and inflation risk should weigh against a resilient labor market, a tension that will shape borrowing costs for households and businesses through the fall. The State Department and Treasury announced sanctions on July 30th against 6 entities and individuals in China, India, Russia, and Iran for enabling the IRGC and its Mahan Air network, according to the official State Department release. Targets include Shanghai Wings, International Logistics, India-based Skiez Travels and Logistics, and Russia-based Air Cargo Pro, all designated as general sales agents for Mahan Air. The action also targets Nagar's startup studio, an IRGC-affiliated front company the Treasury says solicited locations of American and Israeli equipment in the Middle East. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent stated that those who provide financial services, logistics, or commercial support to the IRGC or Mahan Air are helping sustain a terrorist enterprise, per the official Treasury statement. Mahan Air has long served, in the Treasury's words, as the airline of choice for moving IRGC weapons, personnel, and equipment across the region, and remains a repeat target of U.S. sanctions actions dating back several years. Why it matters. The multi-country designations show Washington widening pressure on Iran's logistics networks across 3 continents, a sign the administration views sanctions enforcement as central to its Iran strategy. The Senate on July 30th rejected a motion to discharge S.J. Res. 181 by a vote of 49-50, according to the Senate's official roll call record. The resolution would have directed the removal of U.S. armed forces from hostilities involving Iran that Congress has not authorized. A separate measure, S.J. Res. 199, disapproving a Health and Human Services child care rule, also failed, 47-52. The Senate convened at 10 a.m. and adjourned at 3:50 p.m., per the official Senate floor record, also agreeing to S. Res. 817 by a 50-47 margin. The failed war powers measure came the same day the administration announced new Iran-related sanctions. Under the war powers resolution, discharge motions like this one require only a simple majority, meaning the effort fell just 1 vote short. Why it matters. The near-even vote on military authorization shows Congress remains closely divided over the scope of U.S. involvement in the Iran conflict, even as the executive branch presses ahead with sanctions. The Navy decommissioned the littoral combat ship USS Fort Worth in a ceremony at Naval Base San Diego on July 29th, according to the Department of War's official release. Former Navy Secretary Gordon England delivered the ceremony's principal address, with remarks from Rear Admiral Matthew Kawas and other Navy officials. The ship was commissioned in September 2012 and served as a test ship for the Freedom Variant Littoral Combat Ship class based in San Diego. The Navy is retiring Freedom-class vessels, the Department of War said, citing chronic mechanical problems that drove up maintenance costs over the class's 14 years of service. Ms. Jill Laba, the ship's sponsor's proxy, and retired Navy Captain Warren Cupps also delivered remarks at the ceremony according to the official release. Why it matters. Fort Worth's retirement continues the Navy's broader drawdown of the troubled littoral combat ship program, underscoring unresolved questions about the fleet's near-shore warfighting strategy. The World Health Organization reports the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo has become the fastest-growing on record, with a cumulative 2,124 confirmed cases and 828 deaths as of July 15th, per WHO's official disease outbreak news. Intense transmission in Ituri province remains the biggest concern, WHO says. The outbreak, declared by the DRC government roughly 2 months earlier, has expanded faster in the past month than any previous Ebola outbreak, according to WHO's assessment. Separately, Uganda's Ministry of Health declared its own linked outbreak over on July 28th after 12 days without a new case, with WHO recording 20 confirmed cases and 2 deaths there. German authorities also confirmed a Bundibugyo strain case in a humanitarian worker medically evacuated from the DRC, WHO said. Why it matters. The record pace of spread in the DRC signals surveillance and containment measures have yet to catch up with transmission, keeping international health authorities on alert. Like and subscribe for fact-based news from official government sources only. Leave a comment. Tell us what stories you want to hear.